Welcome to the Hollywood Raw YouTube page, guys. We're happy to have you here. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us comments, do all the stuff.
What are you waiting for? Let's go. I got a drug addiction to feed.
Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. My name is Adam Glyn. Over there is Dax Holt. Today, we got a fun episode. Someone that we haven't talked to in a while, so we're so overdue to catch up. And what a week it is to catch up with them so we can find out everything that happened or didn't happen at Coachella, because I know that took over all of your algorithms this past weekend. We have Deuxmoi on the podcast. Deuxmoi, very, very popular Instagram account to get celebrity news and spottings. Also a very good podcast. She has a book. She's got a new app coming out, which she's going to talk us about. We've been into Deuxmoi for a long time. We tried working with her. I mean, can we get into that or?
I don't know what we want to say with that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the potential of what Dew was doing before
a long
really
time
took
ago.
off. We saw what she's doing. There's a lot of potential, a lot of hype, and we tried and not a bad way. She kind of went her own thing, and trust me, she did the smarter move. But listen, I guess other people saw the potential in her, and she's doing some really great things. So we're gonna talk to Deuxmoi about everything about Coachella, because again, there are so many photos and videos. Dax, Coachella seems to me it's very pretty. You know, when you're in that area. I've never been to what area park? It's at the
well, it's out by Palm Springs, but it is it's not Indian Wells. It's Coachella Valley, but I'm trying to think of the exact. It's the polo fields out there. I mean, there's nothing around. It is full desert. Don't get me wrong, but what they bring into the desert is what makes it so cool. They bring all the setups and the rides and the visuals that makes it the most Instagram worthy location on the planet for 2 weekends.
Yeah, I've never been to Palm Springs, but it looks so pretty. California is just such a pretty state. There's just so many different parts of California. It looks so cool. I saw on TikTok, these two girls were at Coachella. They had 2 burritos and 2 coffees, and I think it cost $64. I'm like, oh my God. And to be honest, the lineup doesn't look that great. I don't know. It just seems so exhausting.
There was a couple that I'm like, that would be cool to see. But I feel like at this point in my life, I wouldn't want to be just out there walking around in the heat all day. I'd be like, okay, well, can you get me air conditioning and then I'll walk VIP to somewhere else? I'm at this point, I'm like, I can't see myself sweating for hours on end. At a music festival. It doesn't sound fun anymore.
It looks exhausting. Before we get to Deuxmoi,
so old.
Yeah, it just looks tiring. Before we get to Deuxmoi, we always ask for reviews. Reviews support this podcast. It helps out in the algorithm, helps us out the charts, helps us potentially make money because we're not there yet. But but when you guys leave us a review, just go to the icon, the podcast app. If you put in Hollywood Raw, go all the way to the bottom. You can actually give us 5 stars and say a few kind words. When you do that, we'll actually shout you out on our podcast, read your review. And again, it's mutual love between the two. Dax,
we are so close to hitting the 1,000 milestone review. We're right there. We've been just tinkering right on the edge of 1,000 reviews. So could someone put us over the edge, just please?
You know what? Our 1,000th review, Dax and I will do a personalized video for the person. You guys want to be the person to give us our 1,000 review? If you do that, Dax and I will make you a personalized video and we'll send it over to you. Just send us your information. Can we do that, Dax? Are you down for that?
Sure. I know who's at number 997 right now, so I will keep an eye out.
Okay. So if you're our 1,000 review, do that and we'll show you an extra. We'll do a fun video for you. All right, Dax, read us a review.
All right. This one comes from Renee from northern Minneapolis, Minnesota. 5 stars. Love your podcast. Found you through the Jason show a while back, and I blast your podcast through my house as I keep up with chores and rehab projects. Who needs to watch a soap opera when I can get the drama of real celebrities from you? I find you very entertaining and informative, so keep up the good work, guys. Thanks, Renee.
Renee from Northern.
Beautiful review.
Thank you, Renee from Northern Minnesota. All right. Our guest today is a very, very popular celebrity informant. I wouldn't say gossiper. I would say blogger. I'd say informant.
I mean, I don't think she would pass up gossip or two. Deuxmoi was built on gossip, and she's the anonymous creator behind the pop culture phenomenon of Deuxmoi, the Instagram handle, the podcast, all of it. We have Dew back on.
Dew, thank you for coming on with us. We missed you. I'm a huge fan. Dax and I have been huge fans from the start of you. So I appreciate taking the time. This past weekend was Coachella. You personally, do you have any interest of going to Coachella after it takes over your algorithm? Does it excite you? Would you want to go to that?
Hell no. No.
Yeah. I think it's so much work. It's like, man, it's like on your feet. I mean, it seems so much. It's very Instagram worthy and it looks cool in the photos, but the work behind the photos to get there, the expenses, everything, it's such a scene. I don't really get it. Does that really, I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless you might be different.
No, I mean, if somebody wanted to drive me in a golf cart, up to the front of the stage and I honestly, I thought that the Gwen Stefani No Doubt performance seemed iconic. I would have loved to see that. I'm not a huge Lana Del Rey fan, but people were gagging over her. But no, it's just not my scene, but people seemed like they had a lot of fun this year. And I think the sentiment on social media platforms was that it looked a lot of fun. People were saying, the people that weren't there were saying, wow, this looks like it was more fun than last year.
What kind of witchcraft has Gwen Stefani done? How is this woman not aged in 30 years? I don't, she looks the same as she did 30 years ago. I'm watching her on stage with No Doubt. I'm like, it looks like no time has passed. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, she looks amazing. Well, I mean, she's obviously got a facelift. That's a very popular procedure amongst men and women, it's no secret. But I think that they're getting them younger and younger. I think celebrities are getting them younger and younger. Angelina Jolie. But how do you do a
facelift and not look like your face is stretched out
because
these days?
They have really good surgeons. Angelina Jolie, I think, got one allegedly a couple of years ago, and she's still in her 40s. So I think the key is the celebrities are just getting them earlier and earlier.
What's so surgeons. I see. It's funny. I saw this video of there's this guy on Instagram, this male doctor, and he talks about the males in the world who have gotten plastic surgery, people in Hollywood. And they say you have to look at the space between the ear and their hairline because there's a scar there and hair doesn't grow over the scar. And we look where the hair starts to grow in. There's too big of a space. So they definitely got a facelift. It's wild how many people actually do it. And they're able to do it so discreet. I know a very big plastic surgeon that in order to keep the privacy of the client, the patient, they do Sunday surgeries just because nobody, New York City sort of be a ghost town around those offices. So these people pay extra just to get the plastic surgery on a Sunday. Do you get a lot of tips from plastic surgeons or people who work in those offices?
No, because I feel like it might.
Yeah, it's like a legal thing.
HIPAA violation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get the names of surgeons that celebrities have won to, and mainly LA. It's funny. I get mostly LA names, less New York.
Makes sense. I would say.
Yeah,
so.
I guess I would picture people being in the lobby and be like, "Oh my God, Angelina Jolie is right next to me. Why is she here?"
Yeah, I mean, listen, they look great, and no, whatever, no shame.
I also, why is it so taboo to have surgery done? Who the hell cares? Everyone wants to look younger. Everyone would love to keep this young appearance. Why is there so much hate around it, I wonder?
Well, I think that I think more and more celebrities are opening up about what procedures they're getting done. I just saw an article about Olivia Culpo talking about it. I
Oh,
don't
she got her
think they're
cheeks done,
100.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're all 100% honest, but I think that like they're, whatever makes them feel comfortable revealing, that's what they're saying. So I do think that they're being a little bit more honest about it, but I don't know. I guess they want the illusion that this is natural, which is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because, as great as they look, like some of them don't look natural. I just actually saw a TikTok of someone zooming in on Kristen Wiig's facelift scars. And they did a
What?
before and after. Oh, yeah. They did a before and after of Kristen Wiig and went over her cosmetic procedures. And
And
they
you think there's
zoomed
truth
in.
to it?
She looks different. So
Dax looking at the photos. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, and straight to Google.
she looks different for sure. If you look at her neck, particularly, her jawline. Listen, I'm no plastic surgeon. I'm talking like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you look at her jawline in older pictures, it's just, probably the way she was born. Nothing against her. It's almost non-existent. And then now she has a very, very prominent jawline. And she looks great. I mean, they look great. So
Yeah, she looks good.
She does look good.
Right, well, I would, if she did do something, I think they did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they pay top dollar and have really good surgeons,
Yeah. Right. So back to Coachella, too. So
Yeah.
sorry, we kind of went into. So I thought, it seemed like it was like a cute festival for the weekend. In 2 weeks, no one's going to remember. There was a lot of LA influencers, a lot of social media people live streaming there. But what was like? I don't know. Was there anything eventful? What was like the biggest story that came from the weekend?
I would say the top 3 stories were Evan Peters and Natalie Ingle making out in the middle of the field.
Why did that get so much press? I mean, I saw your exclusive video of it, but like, why did people care so much about these two making out?
They care about him, I guess. I mean, the reason that I was into it was because I know, because I talk so much to my audience, that they are always asked about him. So when I saw the video, I was like, oh, they're going to love this, because I never have an answer. He's so elusive. He's always like hiding. So when I saw the video, I was like, I felt like, okay, my audience is going to die over this. And they did. They loved it. So him and Natalie Ingle, Taylor and Travis.
Funny because, by the way, who is Natalie? Is she just like a
I didn't know who she was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she apparently dated a DJ. That's how people knew who she was. She dated a DJ, so she's gotcha. Like, I guess, been on the scene. They were together 2 days, so maybe there's like a relationship there. I have no idea. We'll see, I guess, or not see, because you never see him. You never see him. Taylor and Travis, obviously, and I would say the last one was Justin Bieber has been in hiding, for a good month or so, maybe longer. And this was like the first time we've seen him at a public event. People were making a big deal out of the fact that like he greeted Jaden Smith with a hug and a kiss, which I thought was so ridiculous. Like, who cares?
He was just having fun.
I know. Yeah.
And he had a blunt in his hand, right? He was trying to like kind of jokingly like, or have Beat look cool and kind of like play with a blunt in his hand.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did. Or a lighter. But I would say those are the top 3, besides the performances that people were talking about. Like I said, Lana Del Rey and Olivia Rodrigo coming out with Gwen Stefani on stage, and Billie Eilish joining Lana Del Rey. Besides those things, like those three instances that happened like in the crowd, people were talking about that a lot.
You know what? I really liked the Billie Eilish one. And the reason I liked it is because I like seeing superstars being starstruck in moments where they never saw themselves. And so Billie being up there and performing with Lana, like, again, I also don't get the Lana Del Rey, like, I'm not a super fan by any means, but I know how many people look up to her and how many people love her. And I think Billie Eilish truly loves Lana Del Rey. And so for her to be on stage, she was like starstruck sitting next to her performing. And I love that shit. I eat that up. I think it's
Yeah. I think Billie Eilish is pretty genuine, right? Like in her interactions with fans and other people and celebrities. So I agree with you about that. I love Billie Eilish. I think
So she's now, we saw the photos of her kissing that social, she was with a TikTok or Instagram star, the other girl. So it was just like,
who? Billie?
Yeah, Billie.
Yeah.
There was so are we like officially, has she really like talked about her sexuality, like what she's into? Or,
Yes,
yeah, she
yes,
has.
She has.
Yeah.
And she said she's into girls, or is she into guys too, or what is she said about
I'm not really sure how she labeled it, but it was a big thing. I think maybe, remember she had said that someone outed her. Do you guys remember this? Like Rolling Stone or someone outed her.
Yeah, I remember that.
Before she was able to talk about it herself. I'm not sure what she labels herself, but she's obviously into both. So
No,
I would say she seems like someone that wouldn't label themselves all and just like, I'm fucking Billie. Like, and I'm gonna love who the fuck I want to love.
Fucking Billie.
So chill out and don't give me a label. Just let me be me. And if I'm into a chick, cool. If I'm into a dude, cool. Like, leave it alone.
Right.
By the way, that TikTok star is Gwendolyn Blackwell, is who everyone saw her kissing.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And then there's an actress named Odessa. I don't know her last name, who she was also seen getting cozy with at another time, because a couple of my followers were messaging me about it.
Now, do you get like a ton of tips like on a Coachella weekend? Is it just like flowing in? Because I would almost say there wasn't, because there's so many celebs and they're all just kind of mingling and going and coming at, like, you almost don't have time to do so much of a spotting there because everyone's in and out and moving around so fast.
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple videos of Taylor and Travis. And then I'll get, like, if somebody goes to like a party, like the Nylon party, or like, that's really it. Like, I didn't get like sightings at like Revolve Fest or like Camp Poosh or anything like that, or like the Neon whatever. I'll just get lists like, this is who I saw there, you know, and it's never really like any sort of specific intel, because like you said, there's so many people and they're all spread out, and it's just either lists of people that people have seen were spotted, and or like videos of like specific celebs.
You know who's living their best life? Lauren Sanchez. Jeff Bezos.
Yes, that is so true. Wait, that is so funny you said that. That is so funny. They're like really in love. Somebody just messaged me about them. It's so funny you said that, and how like in love they are, which is
like
good for them.
I've known Lauren for a really long time. I used to do hits with her here in LA on like Fox 11, but I see like she's one of those just fun chicks, and I see her dragging Jeff out to like Coachella, and I'm like, I've always wanted to go to Coachella. I've always wanted to be like in the VIP, and now the world has opened to her because they have more money than God, and so she can just do whatever she wants. Because I don't picture Jeff Bezos being like, yeah, I think we should hit up Coachella this weekend. Like, no way is he wanting to do that.
I don't know. I feel like he would be saying that. I feel like he's really like enjoying his like celebrity.
But I think she's the one who brings that into him, because she enjoys the celebrity life. And I think she is going, this is how celebrities live. You are a celebrity. Even though you are one of the richest people on the planet, you're a celebrity. Let's live like celebrities and rich celebrities, you know?
Yeah. Good point.
Do you get a lot of tea, a lot of dirt, a lot of gossip on like the billionaires, from Elon to Jeff Bezos to any of those other guys? Is that a lot? I feel like there's people don't go into that world as much, and I don't know if you get a lot of gossip on those kind of people.
No, not really. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Who like right now, who are you getting the most tips on? Like, it's either their fan base really trying to blow this person up, or maybe their team trying to blow this person up? Who's like the hot new star that everyone's talking about?
Gosh, new star, like no one. Like everyone's still stuck on the old people. I mean, Taylor and Travis, obviously.
Pete Davidson still do? Are you still getting a lot about Pete?
No, people just want to know where he is. Like if someone hasn't been seen in a while, you know, either by paparazzi or like if I don't post a sighting or something, they'll be like, where's this person? Pete Davidson is like one of those people. People want to know if he's still dating Madeline Klein because they haven't really been in the same place at the same time in a while. I think they're both respectively filming in separate locations, but I actually did hear last week that he was referring on the set of his new movie or whatever he's filming right now. He was referring to his girlfriend. He was calling someone his girlfriend. So I'm assuming that's Madeline. So I think they're still together. Okay. But as far as like new, like up and coming, not really. You know what it is? It you know what drives interest is if like there's a new show on Netflix or like, you know, whatever, Amazon Prime. And like, for example, The Summer I Turned Pretty, like when that show comes back on air, everyone's going to start asking about like the young celebrities in that show. So it's really driven by like, you know, what's in front of their face. Out of sight, out of mind is like how the public works. And then they refer back to like, you know, the top, you know, 10 celebrities that just makes its rounds, like Taylor and Travis, Zendaya and Tom, you know, I'm trying to think who, Justin Bieber, Kylie Jenner, Timothée Chalamet, like those are like the old trustees, right? And then if there's like some new show or movie that comes out with a hot star, then they're fixated, like Tom Blythe. Like when the Hunger Games came out, everyone wanted to know about Tom Blythe. So that's really like, I think what drives interest. Love it. And then there's like the reality stars, or the reality shows. Like people always ask about like Love is Blind. That's like a big one. Or not really Housewives that much anymore. I feel like the housewife lore is like
it's kind of starting to fade off a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, one of the biggest photos from Coachella was Teresa hanging out with Taylor Swift. Here's a question. For that photo, do you think she knew who Teresa was, or she just took a picture with a quote unquote fan?
That is such a good question. You know, I thought that same thing. I think she knew. I think, like, don't you ever hear like these big celebrities that are obsessed with housewives? Like Rihanna is obsessed with the housewives. Nicki Minaj, like obsessed with the housewives. Like, I feel like she could have known.
I'd be really curious to know, because I got to imagine Taylor gets hit up every 4 seconds. Can I get a photo? Can I get a photo? Can I get a photo?
Especially in a situation like that. But she doesn't always take them. Like, I didn't see that many fan photos of her at Coachella, because what happens is like one fan photo gets posted and then all the fan accounts start posting it. Like they'll repost it. And I didn't see that many at all. Like, I think she was just like hanging out with Travis. If you saw the video, he was like literally like encompassing her with his arms. Like you couldn't really get that close to her, you know, like she was like right next to him, like right up against his body.
I wonder if Taylor's security is like, I love having Travis around, because that is built-in security. They can almost relax a little bit, because who the hell is going to mess with her when you've got Travis, who's a ginormous, monstrous guy, around her at all times? You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be like kind of a nice relief for her security team.
Yeah, I didn't even see like where her security was. Like, were they even in the crowd? Because usually I feel like they're kind of like very close to her, you know, not far behind. And if you look at the pictures, it looks like there's just like concert goers around her.
Like, I wonder if even their relationship is giving her the ability to go out into a crowd
100%
like this, because she didn't do this before. She's the biggest star on the entire planet, and she is amongst a massive crowd of people. That could easily turn into chaos for her. but I think having him there brings some kind of balance to a crowd because no one's gonna like try shit, you know?
100%. I totally agree with that. The fans, her fans, the Swifties are saying the same thing. I think I read somewhere that she had said like a while ago, like one thing that she really wanted to do but was too scared to do was go to Coachella. And now, you know, the fans see her in the crowd enjoying herself. So they know that's his influence, you know, and that's great for her.
I like that for her. If that's truly like what she wanted to do, I'm happy for her that she gets to do that shit. Because you don't realize the simple things in life that celebs can't do. And it sounds like they're whining if they're like, oh, I can't go grocery shopping or I can't go to Coachella. But it's a reality that when you're that famous, you can't do normal shit.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting more of your tips from restaurants, publicists, or the celebrities themselves?
None of the above.
The restaurants?
None of the above. Restaurants?
Yeah.
You know, they don't identify themselves. So if it's like, you know, somebody who works with a restaurant, actually, that's not true. There are a few restaurants that will send me sightings. That's it. You know, like so-and-so has been here, which I appreciate.
I get the same thing.
Yeah. Because like I told you guys before, I'm doing a restaurant app. So I appreciate those sightings. But that's so restaurants, out of all the ones you just named, restaurants. No to publicists. What was the other one you asked?
Celebrities themselves. Are they?
Oh,
are you still getting reached out? They're not reaching out as much, or are they kind of giving tips on?
Not even on their like burner accounts.
Maybe, I mean, if it's their burner account, I have no idea it's them. They're not going to say it's them.
Have you caught someone on their burner account?
No. Although I've had people on burner accounts message me very specific information about stuff.
Yeah.
I remember at the beginning when your Instagram page was a lot smaller, you knew when there was celebs on their burner accounts following the account.
Yeah, that's it. That's because people would tell me like, oh my God, so-and-so's burner is following you. And then I think I had my agent be like, I can't believe how many celeb burners are following your account. And I was like, don't tell me who. I didn't want to know. But no, if they're writing from a burner, I have no idea. You know, they don't say it's them. You know what I get? I get like friends of. I'll get like a friend of a celebrity clearing stuff up for their friend. I'll get that. But no, not celebrities themselves. I don't think I've ever. It's always a friend of. It's always a friend of. It's never them themselves. They don't do their dirty work. They send their friends.
Yeah.
I remember what I wanted to ask you guys. Did you see Will Smith come out on stage and sing Men in Black?
Yeah.
Yes,
I want to know thoughts on it. Okay, I'm not going to give you my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion first.
He's trying to come back.
He's trying to make a comeback. Yeah.
My hot take, Dax, is that he doesn't want to bow out. He's trying to control, change the narrative that people have on him and trying to say that he's fun. I mean, he really hasn't slowed down on Instagram and he wants to be out there. Like that's what he's not going to, he just wants to be out there. And
okay. Did it work? Did he change your opinion of him at all?
No, not at all. It felt forced because he's never been a real person to me.
What about you?
Yeah. I did not change my opinion. I know he's filming. What movie was he just filming? In
Bad Boys 3.
Bad Boys 3. Yeah.
4.
Right.
Yeah.
So he has to soft launch like his reemergence. This was a soft launch. That's like exactly. I knew he was filming the movie. I saw the performance. I didn't watch it. I just saw that he did it. And I said, oh, they're just setting us up for when he's going to have to eventually go out and promote this movie,
It's funny because I feel like 6 years ago, this would have been huge. Like this moment, him coming out, singing Men in Black, people, I think would have been so much more excited about it. But I look at it and just like, like I don't know why. I don't feel the same that I used to feel about Will Smith like 6-10 years ago. Like this would have been so cool back then.
Yeah.
And I think it is the forced feeling of like, please like me, everyone, again, please. Even though I've got this really weird home life and there's been so much shit happening, but please like me again.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Dax. Dude, what about Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, are they still together? We haven't really heard much. We haven't really seen them. Do you know anything what's going on there?
I don't know anything officially, but
Sure.
they, meaning when I say officially, meaning I haven't had anyone be like they're broken up or they're still together. But I'm gonna say from sightings and what I can gather is that they're in a cool off period right now, because right before he left for New York to film the Bob Dylan movie, they were seen together getting ice cream, right before he left. And then he goes to New York, and obviously they're on separate coasts right now. So I think they're just in a cool off period while he's filming this movie. I mean, it has to be intense. He's playing Bob Dylan. Do you know the type of pressure he's probably feeling? I don't think that anyone in that position, especially Timothy Chalamet, who's had 2 back-to-back really successful films, is thinking about their relationship. Honestly, I think he's probably focusing 100% of his energy on his performance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure. If you do a good job, that screams Oscar. I mean, it always does every time someone plays someone else. If you nail it, then you could have an Oscar in your hand in a couple years from now, easily. So yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure with that. I also just feel I don't see that relationship lasting. I don't want to be a hater or anything like that. I just don't see it lasting personally. I think they're probably having a good time and it's fun for right now, but I think they'll wind up getting married. Nah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they'll wind up getting married at all. No.
Oh, what do you think about Jackson and Brittany? They actually getting divorced, or this all just shit for their show?
I don't know. I don't really follow it that much, but didn't the divorce get announced right before the show premiered?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, do we really put anything past him?
It's just the way Brittany's been kind of handled. I feel like Brittany's just a very bad actress, the way she's been speaking about it. And I just think this is a great way to gas this story. And they both have the same publicist. And I honestly, it hasn't made me excited into the show. I don't know how the show's doing in ratings, but no one's, as far as I know, in the Bravo community, no one's really talking about it as much. I can't get into the story, and nor do I think the public is, because I think they just think that they're trying to ride the coattails of Scandival.
100%. They saw how that went down. And, it's funny. I had someone message me the other day being like, oh, gosh, I forgot exactly what they said. But they were like, and I think that people have said this, that Ariana and Tom were broken up the whole time. It was just all done for the show.
Really?
Yeah, I forget why they said it. They had some evidence or some timeline.
Well, then she is really playing into that role very well.
Well, they're fucking geniuses. Look what it did for them. Look what it did for them. Look what it did for the show. I mean, who knows if that's true? But I think that as far as Jax and Brittany, they see what it did for their show, for Vanderpump and for Ariana specifically. I mean, good for her, man. No matter what happened, she took a shitty situation and she turned it into gold. So they want to replicate that. So I don't know if the divorce. I don't know. I have no idea.
Do you think there is? We've seen some stars like the Bobby Altroff, the podcaster. Do you believe in these Hollywood plants? Are their teams around them? Are they making them into stars? I mean, that's what every publicist and manager does. But do you're on the inside. When I say you're on the inside, it's just you're a big part of the entertainment business now. And I think a lot of people, for us as journalists, and I consider you a journalist, it's we're the backbone of the industry. We're sort of that everyone relies on us, but we don't get as much, props as everyone else in the industry. But do you think there is a real thing of these Hollywood plants?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just explained it. They have a team around them, to make them famous. And isn't that their job? What do they plan to do? When I hear Hollywood plant, Like it's like, okay, they're gonna spy or they're gonna do something like devious. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what that saying like means to me. But what do they plan to do? Yeah, of course there's Hollywood plans to become famous and entertain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
How
get
does one
like the
become
fascination with that.
a Hollywood plant? I would
I
like
don't
to
know.
apply.
I want to be one. I guess you just explained it. He just explained it. Like
But you
you
still
have a
have
team
to-
around you and they set you up in this way that you're going to blow up. But I think with Bobby, I don't think that she's a Hollywood plant. I think I saw her because it was during COVID and I saw her pop up on my For You page. She wasn't doing this whole shtick then. She was a mom and she became popular because she told everyone her baby's name. Do you guys know this? She did this thing on her account where she would, and her kids were involved, like something with like her baby's name or I forget what she did, but that was her shtick before this. So, you know, she had a following. How she got the podcast and the guests, that I don't know. Maybe that's where your Hollywood plant comes into play. Maybe somebody saw her popularity rise on Instagram and said, "Hey, like, do you want to do this?" You know?
But even if you are a Hollywood plant, you have to have the talent or the personality to get to where you're at, because they can't just make anyone famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have to like you. People have to embrace this personality that you have. So yeah, maybe you got a rocket launch into fame, but you probably would have got there. Would have just been a lot longer of a road.
Right. You're saying they have to sustain it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't
and
just
I think the point of a Hollywood plan is like, it doesn't matter if you sustain it. They manipulate it so it seems like you are sustaining it, right? Is that like what you know what I mean? That's what I think people, if you really break it down, like what an industry, like J-Lo.
Yeah.
You know, I think people say that she's a Hollywood plant, but God, we've all seen her in Living Color. She was a backup dancer.
What about
dancer?
We keep also hearing about the celebrity Illuminati. I'm like almost sick of hearing this stuff, but I mean, I don't believe it. Dax, I don't know. What do you think about it? What do you think about it? Do you think there is a celebrity Illuminati?
No.
I don't know. I don't like conspiracy theories, but I do think that there's like a group of people in Hollywood who run the show. I'll just say that. I don't know if they're Illuminati. I don't know. Again, I don't know, like, what does that mean? Like Illuminati, like they have to like give like a blood sacrifice and like they meet every month like in cloaks. Like, I don't know. You know,
I think there can be powerful people that network and use their networking to their ability. But yeah, I don't think they're meeting behind closed doors and sacrificing small children.
Exactly.
I think if you have enough money where you could buy yourself into that group, then you could become friends with them. If you have money,
I think we forget that like rich, powerful people roll in the same crowd. So you end up at the same party, you meet each other, you go, "Hey, I've got this project. Oh, well, I would love to be in that project." And again, you just network. It's who you know, but you're rolling in these crowds that is going to lead to success. So that's probably what the Illuminati is to other people, is being in the right room at the right time with the right people.
Yeah, yes. And they all like commingle together and make, you know, who knows, maybe they're all investing in the same shit and doing deals and hanging out on each other's yachts. Like that's what I picture it to be. So to answer your question, like I do think that there's some sort of hierarchy. I guess I would call it a hierarchy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's the so do you now, I see you post now a lot with Backward. Do you work with Backward now? What's the relationship with you and Backward now? And people who don't know, Backward's a photo agency. And I know how these agencies work, that if you want to use their content or their photos, you need to have a contract or a licensing agreement with them. But what is your relation with Backward now currently?
I'm just a client.
Yeah. We work too. So
yeah. And just like I use Backward and Getty.
Got you. Do they ever?
That's all you need. Those two, I mean, they blanket everything. Getty gets all the red carpet. Backward gets basically everything else.
Yeah. So it's just like, I love when my audience sends me pictures, but there's certain things that if I want to be, rolling in the same leagues as like the Page Sixes and the Entertainment Tonight's and what have you, like I needed to be clients of these photo agencies to have access to the same things that they do.
Now I just want to know, because both of you guys are in New York. Obviously Met Gala is coming up. Do you guys get excited for that? Is that still something that New Yorkans like look forward to? I don't know. I'm an LA person.
I don't know if New Yorkers get excited for it, but the fans do. So, I've been getting asked, they're starting like who's going, who's confirmed, so I'm going to obviously like try to fish for names at this point, which just really basically consists of me posting, asking people, and the people that respond are usually like, never people who work for Vogue or the Met. It's always like, PR agencies or like hair and makeup.
Let's say stylists agencies and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They know who's going because they're, working with the celebrity or they're booked. That's how they know who's going.
Yeah. We did a story, it was like 2 years ago, Dax, that became really big. It was about the poop bandit at the Met Gala. And someone took a poop at the Met Gala and they didn't flush.
Ew.
So then, no one knows. That's why we call him the poop bandit, because then everyone else kept going into the bathroom like, dude, someone took a dump at the Met Gala and didn't flush. And everyone like opened the door and like, whoa, what is going on in there? What was the biggest scoop that you think you've heard from the Met Gala over the years? Like, what was the biggest takeaway that you've heard from it? It wasn't the poop bandit, I'm sure. And I don't know if we'll ever find out who that person was.
No, it definitely wasn't. I'm trying. Wow, I don't know. Like I haven't even thought about the Met Gala since last year. I feel like once I post who's going to be there, and if I'm able to get that list before you see them on the red carpet, like my job is done. Then I go to bed. I'm like, that's all that people care about. Again, like, people are always like, I want, the gossip from like inside the Met or inside the Grammys or inside, the Golden Globes. And it's like, there really isn't that much that goes on inside these events. It's what happens afterwards. And a lot of the parties are like VIP. And the people who are attending these parties that aren't celebrities who might be following my account, they're like not going to rat out, what their fellow party goers are doing. So I don't like, besides like the basics, like the who's going, and if I could leak that information before you see them on the red carpet, like I don't get that much information about like anything crazy that happens.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
By the way, is Deuxmoi the IG account? Is it still private? Do you still have to accept everyone that comes in?
No, it's been public for years.
I wouldn't have known.
You wouldn't have known because you've been following. Yeah.
I joined back in the day when I had to wait for the accept to be in there. And I was just thinking, you've got like over 2 million followers at this point. Did you actually accept 2 million people into the account?
Not 2 million, probably like 600,000 for sure. And I also would like, and I think that's when I went public. When I signed with WME, that's when I went public, because you can't really do brand deals private, and you also can't get at the time. Now you could buy verification, but at the time you couldn't get verified on Instagram as a private account.
Really?
So I had to go public. Yeah. So that is been years. That's been years. But yeah, I used to accept everyone, and I used to all the bots. I didn't want bot followers, so I used to decline them. So it took a long time.
Serious.
But you have major representation. You're with WME. I mean, who represents some of the biggest stars in the world. Have they ever said to you, "Hey, that's one of our clients. Do you mind?"
No, I was just thinking about this the other day. I love this question. No, they've never said that.
That's interesting. I mean, hey, listen, it's what makes you you. That's what makes you good at what you do. You just kind of dance to the beat of your own drum, and you're fortunate you have a team that kind of understands that and lets you do you. But also, it's interesting that it's all part of the industry. It's part of the business as well. I mean, it's show business. So, I mean, you are what we do is really essentially, in my opinion, the backbone of the industry, except we don't get the glory. We don't get to enjoy the success like some of the others do. What does your representation actually do for you? So when you started Deuxmoi, obviously you were just kind of doing your thing and having fun with it. Then you signed with a major talent agency. But what do they bring to you? How do you guys work together to make it a good relationship?
I mean, they did everything for me in terms of like turning the Instagram account into a business. They get me brand deals. They got me my podcast deal. They got me my book deal. They sold my book to HBO and Warner Brothers. So any big business deals have been through WME, and my team is like so awesome. It's so crazy. Like everything they said they were going to do, they did, because
awesome.
So I have like different agents for all those different categories. And like when I first met them in like 2021, they all assembled and they were like, okay, like, do you want to do a podcast? Do you want to write a book? And I'm like, sure. Like, why not? I'm not going to say no to anything. And they were like, okay. And then I don't know, all got me. They were all able to get me deals in all of those categories. So it's crazy. Yeah.
No.
Was it difficult to go into that because, trying to stay anonymous, that you've now got a team now you're kind of pulling back the curtain and allowing a lot of people to know who's running that site. Was that nerve-wracking for you?
No, because I trusted them and they were, they only had my best interests. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was very nervous to work with them, and they said to me, I was nervous to work with them because I knew if I started working with them and this thing became bigger, like I would have to stick with it. And at the time it was almost like a hobby, and I had another job, so I could abandon it at any point. And I knew if I made the commitment to work with them, then it meant that this was going to be more long-term. And I didn't know if I would be able to sustain it because I was doing everything on my own. So they were really great about that. They were like, you don't have to sign for me. And I think a lot of like influencer type people, you don't have to like sign a contract, right? They're like, we'll work with you. And if you want to leave at any time, you could leave. Like, you're not bound to us in any way. So that made me feel more comfortable. And it was like,
do you have a team?
I owe
now?
everything to them.
Do you have a team that works on IG, or is it still just you?
I have one person that works with me full time, and then 2 freelancers.
Dang, that's amazing.
Do the freelancers know who you are?
Yes, one does.
Okay.
One I've met. One's in LA and one's in New York. So
good.
The one in New York I've met, and then the one in LA I haven't. I mean, they call me Dew. They don't call me my name. It's like so weird. And the one in LA I haven't met, but I will meet her. I want to actually meet her this summer when I come to LA. So listen, I'm not like hiding. Like, it's like on a need to know basis.
Sure,
like
I get it. Yeah.
I had an event where I met a room full of journalists in November for the launch of my the paperback launch of my book. So I met a bunch of journalists, and it was fun. It was like so fun, and it wasn't like scary. I didn't mind it. I just was. It's a need to know basis. That's basically how I could describe it.
No, I think it's awesome, and that's really great that you have a good team around you, not just internally but externally with the agency. Because Dax and I have had the exact opposites. Fuck you to 3 Arts, scumbags, you bunch of scumbags at 3 Arts, a bunch of con artists, used car salesmen, just dirtbags. Anyway, just dirtbags, dudes, used car salesmen, the old school used car salesmen, and then they take credit and they don't do anything. But are you allowed to talk about this new app that you have coming out yet, or is that still under wraps?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was supposed to come out yesterday, but there's always delays. So, yeah, so basically what I did for anyone who follows the Instagram account, I cataloged like the past 3 years of Sunday Spotteds into an app, into like a restaurant, hotel, spa. There's obviously more restaurants, but it's all organic. So all the restaurants and spas and hotels that are in the app are actual sightings from the audience. And if, like, let's say you're in New York and you want to go to an Italian restaurant, you could search like New York City Italian restaurant, and all the Italian restaurants in New York City where celebrities have been spotted will come up. The name of the restaurant, a link to make a reservation, and all the celebrities are listed, literally listed, who my audience have seen at that restaurant. So it's literally like, I don't know. Do you guys remember Zagat's?
Sure.
It's like the celebrity Zagat's.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, it
was a New York thing.
Oh, okay. I was like, never heard of it. No clue. Okay.
So my last question for you, Du. So obviously you got this app that's really going to highlight celebrity restaurants, where they go and all over. What is the number one celebrity hotspot currently?
In New York and LA, you would say?
Let's do both New York and LA. In New York, if I want to see celebrity, where am I going to go? If I'm in LA, where am I going to go? I'm going to guess in LA, it's got to be Craig's. But in New York,
not anymore.
Really?
No.
Where in LA is it? Giorgio Baldi or?
Yeah. Yep. Giorgio Baldi and Funky, Funke.
Okay.
A lot of celebrity sightings there. Sunset Tower.
Really?
Still,
that place is still popping?
Oh yeah.
Was it just Jen Aniston every other night? Because
John Mayer, yeah. Let me look. Hold on. I could like tell you right now the top 10 spots on my app. I mean, I'm sure Carbone is going to be up there still, but I feel like I don't get as many sightings there. I'm trying to think, like, what is like the new place?
Is it Via Carota? Is it
Via Carota is still popular. Hold on,
Altars are still.
Yeah. You know, do you guys know that? Do you know the place Jeans on Lafayette?
Yeah.
That's like kind of a new one that was like popular. Okay, let's see what the top.
I know Henry Cavill was at Polo Bar last night.
Oh yeah, Polo Bar. Okay, the top spotted in New York City. Via Carota, Carbone, Polo Bar, Balthazar. Oh, the Bowery Hotel. Not necessarily for dinner, but the lobby of the Bowery. Pastis, Bar Pity, St. Ambrose, the Odeon, Waverly Inn, American Bar, Jack's Wife Frida, Cafe Cluny, Morandi, Cipriani, Altro Paradiso. These are all New York. Those are like some of the top spotted in New York.
Very cool.
Yeah. And same. It's
crazy.
Like no place really new. Los Angeles Tower Bar, Craig's, Nobu Malibu, Mother Wolf, Giorgio Baldi, Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel, Little Dom's, the Chateau Marmont, San Vicente Bungalows.
It's funny how like some restaurants come and go, and then other ones never die off. Like Nobu Malibu, like since the day they opened that restaurant has been the biggest celebrity hotspot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's funny. Dax, I gotta be honest with you. From her list in New York, I've been to all those restaurants, but I've eaten pretty much at none of them. I've walked through, and I literally walk through the restaurant, act like I'm there to meet someone, and then I walk through the restaurant, try to see if there's a celebrity there, use the bathroom, and then walk out. That's what I do.
Oh my God, I'm surprised I haven't caught you.
Yeah, no, I'm like infamous for that. They give me the look. Trust me, it gets a little weird at times, but I'm really good at like, hey, I'm just gonna go say hi to a friend real quick. And they're like,
Yeah,
okay,
I'll be
for
right
the third
back.
time this week, and then I just go and ruin their bathroom and then run out. That's it's sad what I'm doing. But dude, I appreciate you taking the time. You're crushing it. Congratulations with the app. Dax and I are going to be waiting impatiently for it to come out. Keep up the awesome work. We are avid followers of you. We've been a fan of you for a long time. It's just, you're cool. You get it. And you deserve all the success.
Wow, thank you. You guys are so sweet. Thank you guys have always been like longtime supporters. So I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Always.
And make sure you check out her podcast, the Do You podcast. You can find it anywhere you download podcasts. You can listen to her chat about all of her sightings and just top stories of the week. Very, very popular podcast that she does over with Odyssey. Anyway, thank you, Do. Really, really appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk about, Coachella, the little bit that we did talk about Coachella.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, we got so sidetracked. That was so crazy. That was so crazy. Hey, listen, if I had heard something like major, I would have told you guys. It was like pretty, and I knew people that were like, I had friends that were there and they didn't even like say like, it's just so spread out. It's so hard, I think, to get it's a different
good
intel. Yeah.
A whole different vibe there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Talk sooner this time.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye, Do. Great job, Do. Do is always fun. It's really good just to have like a reconnect, but also kind of like, all right, where are we right now in the entertainment world? Like, what's going on? What's your latest? Let's just fill you guys in so we're all up to date. And that's what it was. Funny. We started with Coachella and then
when we first started the call before we started recording, she was like, I don't think we spoke all of last year, which is weird for us because we used to be like back and forth. We'd be on her, she'd be on ours. I can't believe we didn't speak at all to Do last year.
Yeah, we've been busy. Everyone's going 100 miles an hour. Sometimes don't see what's going on the side of the road, but it's good to reconnect with her. It's good to reconnect with you, pal. And I appreciate you guys watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. If you're listening, make sure you guys leave us a review. We love it so much. We love reviews. We try to give you a shout out on air. Follow us on our private Facebook group. Yes, it's a private Facebook group called Off the Record, where you guys can ask us questions. We could talk to you. It's a really cool, fun community. Follow me at Adam Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Dax Holt, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
What's up, guys? If you liked that video, there's plenty more where that came from.
Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so we can just feed you all the goodness daily.
Hurry up. Come on, let's go.